Hi everyone. So I have been in the real estate profession for over a decade, and I got into it when the market was just booming and you couldn't do no wrong. And in about 2008, everything changed for us, and obviously these have been some very interesting years. And I started as an assistant. I then became a assistant manager, and I became a manager. Then I became a general manager, and we'll talk about all that later. But the whole point of that is that oftentimes when I am dealing with a challenge from one of my agents, or we're trying to come up with a new way to approach a situation, or we're looking at a contract and trying to figure out what we're going to do, oftentimes I can draw to situations that I've had in the past that have taught me lessons about many different things, and then they help me come up with solutions. So, anyways, one day when I was talking about these, one of my agents said, these are great. Some of them are funny, some of them are sad. They're definitely interesting. Why don't you start putting those online and share them with people? And I don't know why I haven't been doing that, so I decided that this might be something that I want to do. And so this is the first one of those, and I'll start putting these together maybe every few days or so, and hope that you'll enjoy them. And more than anything, I hope that they will resolve issues that you would have, or better yet, they'll spark questions, and I'm here and available to answer anything that I can for you. So, anyways, I wanted to start off with something that happened when I was very, very young, or at least new into the industry. I had just been into it for maybe a few months, and I was an assistant to somebody at the time. And one of my responsibilities was to coordinate her transactions to make sure that everything went well. And we were in the middle of an escrow, and the gal that we were representing, she was probably, I'm gonna say, mid 40s, gorgeous woman, and she happened to have a boyfriend who was maybe 19 or 20 years old, which was just a few years younger than I was. And I only mention that because, well, there you go. Anyways, so her loves, though, her great, great loves were her cats. She adored about the four cats that she had, and one of them was very, very old. And we were warned, this is her baby. We needed to sometimes schedule open houses around this cat's schedule because she loved this cat so much. So, anyways, one of the things that needed to happen before we could close escrow was that she needed to have the house tented. So I scheduled a termite company that we work with all the time to go out and tent the place. And that meant that, of course, everything has to be bagged. There have to be made arrangements. At that point, I think there had been an explosion on another house that had been tented, not by this company, but by another company. But that meant that gas had to be shut off a certain way, and we had to arrange and account for that. Uh, and so, long story short, we get the house tinted. 3 days go by, and the tent comes off, and they're starting to move. And this cat that I had talked about earlier was kind of inside and out. And on a Saturday afternoon, I get this shrieking call from this woman because she had my cell phone number, obviously, and she has found the cat. It was among a couple of boxes that I guess he liked to nuzzle in, and nobody at the termite company, and not even herself when they were heading out, had bothered to check there. And unfortunately, the the cat had perished. And then over and on top of that, her boyfriend, I could hear him in the back talking about how he had died this terrible death just from the position of the cat, and was making the situation a heck of a lot worse. And so apologized profusely, called the termite company. They know they got a problem on their hand. They're apologizing, and of course, nothing can really make up for a loved one being gone. And one of the creative solutions that we came up with is that we would do a funeral for the cat. And altogether, and I didn't pay for it, but I helped arrange it. It ended up costing about $3,500 to bury this cat. Was there a eulogy? There was. She said a few words. It was a very moving service. It's the only cat funeral that I've ever been to. But what it taught me, and I do this every time that we have a termite inspection, or I'm sorry, that we're going to be tenting a house, or we know that there's going to be some kind of work, is to make sure that all pits are clear, that all perishable stuff is taken care of, and the termite companies handle that a lot. They have information now because they've been sued time and time again. Um, but again, just one of those crazy, quirky things that happen in the industry. But if anything, I've gone to a cat funeral. Anyways, that's the kind of stories that I plan to tell. Funny, I think they're interesting. And if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to let me know. Thank you very much. Bye bye.